Square Enix headquarters,
Oh
2005.
boy, Final Fantasy 14 MMO is gonna be lit.
Yeah, Final Fantasy XI was a huge success.
Little
that
do
it
they
will
know.
definitely be the most remembered title in the series, and it's all thanks to you who directed Nobuaki Komodo-san.
Pause.
Thanks Mr. Square.
Nobuaki Komodo, is it? So he was the original director. Apparently he got scrapped from the project after it released. Very unfortunate for him. I wonder why it was so bad. That I don't know. I don't know why Final Fantasy 1.0 was a bad game or considered unappealing.
Now with our brand new Crystal 2 engine that we waste a lot of money on, which also used on another best game of the series. We will make this
used
game
on
the best
13.
looking MMO ever.
And we all know that it's
Pause.
the most important.
I also heard Final Fantasy 13 wasn't also well received too well. After reading and watching reviews, I barely played the game because I honestly, in my time when I was playing video games a lot, didn't spend a lot of my time playing those Final Fantasy games.
Important thing in video game.
You damn right. Ha 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 ha.
But boss, none of us haven't ever used this engine before. Are you sure we can make such a big game like MMO in time for launch?
Oh don't worry. We will just wing it like usual.
That is
Just
right.
wing
We're
it.
gonna roll in a pile of money very soon.
Ha 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 ha.
I love this video.
Oh
It's
boy,
hilarious.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Years
Oh boy,
passed.
That was harder than I expected, but at least we got a better route.
Boss, we got a lot of complaints from the official forum. It
Pause.
seems that our servers
I don't know if you guys watch a YouTube channel on YouTube, obviously, called Internet Historian, but I get a lot of Internet Historian vibes with the way that this video is set up and edited. It's like Photoshop image stills moving around and computer voices, but it's got that music in the background as well. Yeah, Internet Historian's great. Funny videos, and they're very insightful with events that have happened in the internet's past.
are down everywhere.
Oh don't worry, servers broken during beta is normal for any MMO.
And we also got multiple bug reports from players who can actually get to play.
We will fix it later for sure.
Wow.
How bad can it
Server
be?
shutdowns and bug
And
reports.
they say that the first cutscene lagged like crazy.
Oh,
But does
ouch.
it still look pretty?
If you like looking at PowerPoint presentation, then yes.
Of course.
Oh boy. This is bad actually.
Also, we still don't know how this engine works.
Oh no.
Can we at least delay
no.
the game launch for a bit?
Pause.
Okay then.
It really does sound like a wreck. You got bugs from the game at the very beginning. You got server issues, so not many people can even play the game, or the beta in this instance. And it looks like they still haven't really wrung out all the things with this crystal tool.
Let's see. We make too much polygon for flower pot that it actually lagged the server.
Ouch.
Our user interface
You're
is
serious?
so bad it makes Microsoft look like
The
a piece
polygon
of art.
count on the
The
flowers was
The
so
world is
high.
filled with the same copy
that the-
paste asset, and
the
yet we
rendering
didn't
took
have
so
a
long.
minimap in an MMO game.
They didn't have a mini-map
We
in the
also have a
game?
fatigue system that encourages players to stop playing to get more experience.
Why did we even think of doing that?
Fatigue
Because we
system!
barely have any endgame content.
Oh.
That'll
Also,
slow the
there are-
players down from playing the game. Pause. I just want to read. No Tifa is what I've noticed in one of the points there. That's definitely a negative from the game. Overly complicated crafting system. I imagine that's supposed to say complicated. Crafting can be affected by lag. Crafting recipes is more complex than Minecraft. Gathering is, you guess it, slow and boring. No gear drop from enemy raid. Ooh, ouch. No gear drops. Wow, it does sound like a mess. I'm glad I didn't jump in at that point. I'm kind of glad to be jumping in at this point, actually. I would have probably liked to have jumped in maybe after A Realm Reborn, but I feel like now's a good time for newbies to jump into Final Fantasy XIV.
Honestly,
Lag.
it's easier to list what doesn't went wrong.
Like what?
Auto attack system,
Oh good, at least one thing.
because it doesn't have one.
Oh times
Oh,
two. Oh
no
boy.
auto
We are in
attack
big
system.
trouble, aren't we?
I mean, we make a mediocre and unfinished game, that we know it's mediocre and unfinished.
The good thing is that how Final Fantasy XIV has become today. It's a very competent, fun game. And from what I hear, it's been getting more players more now. It's like peaked. And I'm one of those players that just started playing. And it's peaked more now than ever before. And for them to turn something that was so disastrous as the original 1.0 release and to switch it to a game that is well received by many people is such a good case study for any developer. Even the makers of No Man's Sky, when they originally released the game, a lot of people were disappointed. They gave that game a low review, but they listened to everyone's opinions and everyone's critique of the game, and they turned it into something better than what it was when it was originally launched.
Whose idea was that again?
Hello there.
It's the executives. It's the management.
So how is that pile of money we are going to swing it?
Fix it, now.
Nope, still broken.
You are
Oh,
fired.
dear.
Well, I tried.
That did happen.
Wait, did
that
I
did
say
happen.
fired? I meant demoted to level designer position.
Well, better than nothing,
Oh, he's
I
still in the
guess.
company? That's
But what are we
good.
going
Yeah,
to
better
do
than
then,
nothing.
Mr. Square Enix? We still need a director.
Don't worry, it is time for us to bring our secret weapon.
Pause.
Behold.
I actually thought he was fired from Final Fantasy, but at least he we can't be mad at him, right? I don't know if he's ever taken on an MMO job before to making an own MMO. I don't think I'd do a better job than he would. That's
Our
the guy,
new director of Final Fantasy XIV.
Yoshida?
Yoshida-san.
Yoshida-san, Naoki
What is
Yoshida.
Final Fantasy again?
Ouch!
Have fun, Yoshida-san.
Oh no!
Oh boy.
Can you imagine
Wow, that went pretty well,
how he
boss.
was able to
We
turn that
fixed quite
around?
A lot of bugs and problems and
I
some
can't
important
imagine.
features.
It's so bad that company president have to do a public apology.
Yeah, sorry
A
about that.
public apology.
But
I
not
want to
to
watch
worry,
that. I
I
want to
have
watch
a
that
plan.
public apology. I want to see how
kind of plan,
serious. It
boss?
sounds really
It's a
serious
risky
how
one.
bad this
Dare I
game
say it,
was.
rather crazy. And some of us will not make it by the end, but it's the only way to get out of this mess.
What is it, boss?
We burn it.
Nanny.
The game. The
Burn it
server,
to the
engine.
ground
Burn every last one of them.
and build from
But
the
we
scratch.
just managed to stop them from burning for a while ago. Why do we have to burn it again?
We will destroy the game, and then create a brand new 2.0 version.
So, Final Fantasy XIV is over.
Yeah, but it's also only the beginning.
We are
Mm.
not going to sleep for a year, aren't we?
You damn right. Okay guys.
You're gonna
Remember how you
crunch.
make 1.0 version
Ouch.
frustrating and boring? Do the opposite of that.
Okay, boss.
We
Ah,
still need an engine to work on.
pause.
Here you go,
That,
Yoshida-san.
that makes so
Our
much
company makes
sense.
luminous game
Just
engine
don't
that
make
we
it
also waste a
frustrating
ton of
and
money to make.
boring.
Do I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Hmm.
Operation Realm Reborn begin.
One
Alright,
developer
everyone.
cycle.
Thank you for
later.
all of your hard work. But after long and tormenting development,
Realm Reborn.
4 phases are better, because we can't screw this up. Some of our team got injured, some even died from exhaustion, and all of you missed your family. We finally finished Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah, this is probably one of the main reasons why I wouldn't ever jump into game development. As much as I love video games, the culture inside a game development company sounds absolutely devastating. Like, companies will take advantage of a passionate developer and make them do overtime, lose sleep over making assets and creating things for the game. And then I hear afterwards, most of these game companies, after releasing a game, will just get, burned to the ground basically and disband the entire department. So it just sounds like a work culture that just doesn't feel like it's worth it. What Naoki Yoshida did was basically, as they said in this video, burn everything to the ground. Just remove everything that they did in the original 1.0 game and make an entirely new game. I didn't even know how bad the original 1.0 game of Final Fantasy XIV was until watching this video. And this is only probably like a little taste of how bad it actually was. The amount of lag, the amount of glitches, how unfun the fatigue limit. How like you can get so fatigued that you can't gain experience anymore. Only because they didn't even have things in the end of the game that they haven't even finished yet. That sounds like a mess.
Finally, thank God.
Check out that
Yoshida-san,
score now.
We revert the biggest financial
That is a
crisis
big
our
flip.
company has ever faced. We
from
saved
sub
Final Fantasy
50
14 and the
to
whole
plus
franchise.
80
And it only take 14 years out of
and
my
7.3
life.
user
Though
score.
we still have to work on future updates and expansion.
Oh boy, here we go again. But at least our company
Can you
won't
imagine
face any
Naoki
more crisis ever
Yoshida?
again.
This has taken about a
couldn't
decade of
agree
his
more.
life to fix, but it's a success story and it's a great story
Let's
at that.
turn it into Final Fantasy 15.
Okay, sure.
Also, you are fired.
Okay,
I remember
wait, what?
Versus 13. Versus 13 turned into 15. That's right. It's kind of like that. Hey, it's like we didn't have any end content, so we're going to make a fatigue system so you can't level anymore, so you can't experience the rest of the game, making it all slow for other people to play, and fingers crossed they don't reach the end game by the time we still don't have content for it. I've heard a little bit about Japanese work culture, how it's like you're kind of expected to hang around with your colleagues after work, and it's kind of also expected to work overtime without asking for overtime hours and things like that. They say if you leave on time and you finish work, you're doing the minimum. And if you see someone doing overtime, sitting at their desk, they don't have to do anything. If they're just sitting at their desk after their hours, it's seen as them being a hard worker and hanging around at their job.